Yo, what's going on there, YouTube? It's your boy, Marcus Levy. Angry Ranter here, out for a nice exercise walk on the way to get my hair cut for the Saturday Rant number 5. The joys of living with GERD. So, of course, GERD, for people who don't know, stands for gastroesophageal reflux disease. Essentially, the easiest and definitely less terrifying way to put it, severe acid reflux. I was born with the valve at the very bottom. There's a bug on my hand. The valve at the very bottom of my esophageal tract was pretty defective. As a baby, I couldn't keep anything down. And I was on this medication that eventually ended up getting banned in 1999. I can't remember the name of it right now. It starts with a P. Prep 8 or Prep Acid or something like that. Either way, I took it for the first, probably, I think my mother told me it was about 3.5 years of my life, from basically 96 right up until nearing the end of 99, when it was finally banned. I'm not sure why it got banned, but that medication in and of itself actually helped me out a lot, because despite chugging pop and eating chips and McDonald's and pizza and pastas and all that shit when I was a kid, had no issues. I might have the occasional acid reflux flare-up, which of course is not something most kids ever deal with, but I had known most of my entire life that this was a thing that I deal with, but I never expected it to get back to level das maximum. But of course, when you get fat and you eat like shit as an adult, things tend to come back and punch you in the esophagus a lot harder than when you were a child. And so, you know, I've had to cut out pop. I cut it out a year ago, and then I did bring it back very briefly. Within, I want to say I brought it back about 3 months ago for about 2 months. Not drinking it all the time, but just allowing myself to sip on it like a beer. You know, like you would a beer. Like, I don't chug drinks anymore because that has upset my stomach. I thought my parents were just being annoying when they kept telling me, slow down when you eat, or it's going to upset your stomach. I was like, fuck you, I'm going to eat however fast I want. Nope, certainly come back to haunt me. I mean, you know, this doesn't help any. But also, too, not continuing to have a proper diet is a big problem. Sometimes it makes sitting for long periods of time hard, because naturally I tend to slouch when I'm sitting. Actually, there'll be times I'll be sitting there playing fucking video games, and then I'll notice all of a sudden I've slumped right back in the chair, and I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta sit up because I'm tasting my stomach content. I can't lie down after eating. Like, I can't eat and then go for like how people have like Thanksgiving turkey naps, because I'm thinking, because Thanksgiving, which is a horrible holiday, by the way, which we'll rant about next week, because we're coming up on Canadian Thanksgiving to all my American viewers. But, you know, you can't just like go have a fucking turkey nap, because if I do, I'm gonna taste my stomach contents. Problem is, too, GERDs sometimes keeps me awake at night, or at least it has. I've gone up and down with my fluctuations of it. Right now, I'm having no issues because I'm self-medicating with ranitidine, which is a medication that, if you remember the first Shootin' It Sunday that I did, I talked about how I was going to the clinic to pick up a box of that stuff. Well, see, doing the 1 pill a day worked. Switching up to 1 pill every 2 days that I've been doing for the last like few days has been rough, because as I go through my days of not taking the pill, I don't experience so much acid reflux splash ups and splashbacks and shit, but the thing that pisses me off the most is I experience basically this mild numbing heartburn on my left side, into like my armpit region and my shoulder and stuff like that, like all day. I essentially experience like mild heartburn all day, which, again, it's mild, it's not painful, it's just annoying. And so I've now switched to taking, because the pills do say you can take one every 12 hours. And so I've decided I'm going to listen to those instructions, and I'm going to take one. I'm going to do a 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And I'm going to do that for a month until November 1st. See how I'm feeling. If it doesn't get any better, going to a doctor. If it does start to feel better, then I'll drop down to one pill a day at the time when it's needed the most, which would probably be at night instead of in the morning. Because now that I've, been successfully going for, I want to say almost 2 weeks now, and going out, yeah, it's that season again. It's leaky nose season again. I wonder if taking a Claritin would help with that. Testing that out later. But what was I saying? Yeah, I've been going around doing morning walks and stuff, because obviously losing weight is important. And today, I'm actually, after I finish getting my hair cut, the next stop is the grocery store, because I'm going to go buy a cheap blender so I can have frozen fruit smoothies like I used to about 2 years ago when I did the no garbage food summer, NGFS. And then I'm thinking we're going to get back to NGFS rules, because it's been ridiculously hard. It's been ridiculously hard for me allowing myself to eat literally whatever I want. And, I've been out living on my own, living independently, with sometimes up to 6 roommates. It's not really living on my own, living independently. I'm more of a cook whatever's quickest kind of person. And sometimes what's quickest is not cooking at all. And of course, that's not a good idea. And of course, going back and forth from that day-night schedule sometimes can really fuck me up a little bit. But my rant, which has been a little bit dialed back because, one, getting super frustrated and upset over something I've been living with off and on my entire life, but has come back since 2018. Like, I feel something happened in 2018 that was a huge fucking catalyst. Like, I don't know, like a switch was flicked, and all of a sudden I went back to, my esophagus went back to the 90s. It got frosted tips and called itself Matt Blaze and started hacking. Hackerman, like fucking, like the 90s, Neo, fucking, his bullshit. Love Keanu Reeves, though. Who doesn't? But, I gotta say, that's my biggest thing, is living with this is rough, and can sometimes make eating literally anything a struggle. Because I eat it, I'm gonna pay for it, and we all deserve, especially after the bullshit crazy 2020 that we've all been living through, to live life a little more comfortably. And that's what I mean. I deserve comfort in and of myself too. And at the very least, I need to get hacking the pounds off. And I have a plan. I know I may not look it, but I'm about 270. And so it's not great. But my plan is to inch that down 5 pounds at a time and keeping track of those milestones. 268 is the next milestone. And I'm going to feel good once I can hit 268 or lower a few days in a row. Then we shoot that down to 263, and then 258, and then 253. And then finally, once we're at 248, the corona weight is gone. I mean, when I first started 2020, I was 240. But I put on like 35 pounds this year just simply from eating like shit and not exercising. I'm gonna tell you. The food tastes good, but the weight don't feel good. You know, clothes that I bought for myself that barely fit me back then don't fit me now. And I gotta tell you, the fact that I don't want to be this way forever is why I'm not going out and buying new clothes. They're still in great condition. But the point is, they'll look better on me when the pounds have been shed. The acid reflux will go away when the pounds have been shed. And I think that'll be what helps. But I just figured I'd rant about my current state. Thanks for listening. See you guys tomorrow for the Shooting It Sunday, number 5. Peace.